Welcome back. My name is All Fun and Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and I also make fun little videos here on YouTube. Today, we are talking about the Dark Sword. Now, this is one of my favorite items in Don't Starve Together when it comes to weapons, and of course, it's probably one of your favorites too. There's multiple reasons for this, as the Dark Sword is probably the weapon of choice. Nonetheless, it has some of the coolest skins, if not the best skins in Don't Starve Together, as it features the Twisted Dagger, the one from Cult of the Lamb. Of course, you get the Lightsbane, which is honestly some of the coolest ones, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, literally, it just has multiple different types of skins that just make it look so amazing. But aside from the skins, it is one of the best weapons in Don't Starve Together. However, it does cost you 20 sanity per minute, which seems like a lot, but actually when you know how to use it, or if you're partnering up with a character that can actually not really matter so much about the sanity, well, of course, the Dark Swords are going to be the weapon for you. Nonetheless, the Dark Sword is amazing. 100 attacks with 68 damage per. Compare that to the actual Handbat with an extra 10 damage, but the Handbat has unlimited swings. I mean, the Dark Sword does have some of the fastest attacking in Don't Starve Together. So let's go ahead and compare what we're talking about. When it comes to an attack rate, if you won 2, it's over and done with, versus you take another, let's go ahead and do this one more time, another spider, and we decide to attack with a Handbat, 1, 2, and then you can see that there's a little bit of a speed boost. Now, whether you're doing attack speed, damage, or whatever on Don't Starve Together, it doesn't necessarily matter, but nonetheless, the Dark Sword is one of the fastest weapons in DST, making it one of the best weapons to use if you are deciding to actually be in a boss fight. So what does that mean? If you actually come up with enough dark swords, if you come up with enough nightmare fuel and living logs in order to actually make it happen, you're probably going to be in a good position to actually make sure that you're going to be able to fight multiple times. Now, the thing is, of course, yes, it does require a decent amount of utility because, of course, you have to acquire said nightmare fuel. Best way of getting nightmare fuel, of course, is actually going out and fighting nightmares and then basically pooling that all together. And as for living logs, if you have a partner, Wormwood with you, you can get a ton of living logs. If you don't have a partner of a Wormwood, you can also become Wormwood and then go back to your normal character after you've basically, made a ton of living logs. There's other ways to get living logs too. So it's not the easiest thing to acquire. You also require some more of the actual higher up stuff too, so just keep that in mind when it comes to actually finally getting yourself the Shadow Manipulator. So when you finally get that, then you're able to make the Dark Sword, and so on and so on and so on. Now, when you finally craft it, though, acquiring nightmare fuel, especially when you're going in the caves a lot, and then farming living logs, depending on what you're deciding to do, whether it's a Wormwood trick or anything else, when you finally acquire all this stuff, it is actually one of the better weapons in Don't Starve Together, if not the best weapon in Don't Starve Together. I wouldn't say it's the best one, but I would say it's probably tied, if not the best. I mean, I still like the Handbat myself, the favorite, but of course, you tell me what you believe. I love the Dark Sword. I think it's probably one of the coolest weapons in DST, and like I said, the skins just make it look so much nicer too. But anyways, that's it for me. Thanks again for watching. Tell me what you think about the Dark Sword and why it's the best. Like, aside from the sanity boost, do I think the Dark Sword should have a little smidge of a boost in how many attacks you get out of it? I'd probably push it a little bit further, maybe make it 125 attacks instead of 100, but that's just me. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.